All right, so we're in section 3.2 now. Let's talk about truth tables. A truth table is a table we can draw, and we look at every possible true or false combination for the variables involved. And the variables are going to represent statements. We learned about statements last time, so let's say we've got statements A and B, let's call them. And we're going to look at every possible case of, let's say A is true and B is also true. Let's say A is true but B is false, etc. What if A is false but B was true? Okay, or they're both false. We have these different statements we've looked at, different types of statements. So we're just going to call them A and B for now. We have two statements, and here's the four possible things that could happen as far as when they're true and false. All right. Now this is the AND symbol. We talked about using the AND where it represents A and B would have to be true for this to be true here. All right, so let's see when that happens. Well, yeah, here they're both true, so the statement A and B is true. All right, but now what happens if they're not both true? Our AND statement cannot be true. So that ends up false here, and the same thing with the next one. If the left one is false, and if they're both false, it certainly can't be true. So here, it's only true in the one case where A and B were both true. Okay? Then let's look at another case. Now actually, this is called the conjunction. The A and B statement, we call that the conjunction of A and B. Right? Now let's move on to A or B. That V shape represents or, and that means either A is true or B is true, or possibly both. So in this case, clearly this is true because at least one of them is true, and like we mentioned, both of them are true. Same thing here. We've got at least one true, so the A or B is true. That's all we needed for it to be true. Here, at least one is true, so the or is also true. And here is where it's not, because we don't have one of them true, so the or statement is false. So then let's talk about the or statement is also known as the disjunction of A and B. Okay, so there's our introduction to truth tables. We'll look a lot more in depth coming up.